Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, we had this big, long media hype on James Comey and his testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee. And I tell you, it's so absolutely ridiculous. Every major news network was hyping this thing up. They had the countdown clock that was on for like a week. James Comey's going to testify. This could be the first thing that takes Trump out in his administration. This can completely ruin him. And then what do we learn? We learn that James Comey was a leaker. He was a leaker. He leaked information to one of his good friends that worked for a college. He was a professor. Still is a professor. And that information, the memos that he leaked to his friend, he told to distribute to the media, and his friend leaked those memos to the New York Times, and they published them. And then what do we learn? We learned that James Comey said that some of the reports that were coming out of the New York Times had absolutely no factual backing whatsoever. We learned that they were false, that the New York Times is reporting blatantly false reports. Then what else do we learn? We learned that Trump was not a target of any of the Russia probes. Trump has never been a target. But the reason why James Comey never would publicly say that is because, according to the reasoning that he provided, he said that if we would come out and say that Trump is not a target, if he would ever become a target, then we would have to go back on our word. That is the most ridiculous answer that I have ever heard. The most ridiculous reasoning that I've ever heard. And Trump was understandably frustrated because when James Comey told Trump that he was not a target whatsoever, that they had no evidence against him, Trump was frustrated because Comey wouldn't say that publicly. Understandably so. Understandably frustrated. But the reasoning provided by James Comey was absolutely absurd because all that Comey had to do is just use a thing called English. All he had to say in order to allow room for flexibility in case Trump ever would become a target, as he claimed was his fear, all that Comey would have to do is say, presently, the president is not under investigation and is not a target. That's all he had to say. Presently, Donald Trump is not a target. That's it. Big deal. And then if information would come out later on that leads them to the president, then they could say information that we now have available has caused concerns with the administration, or that we are investigating the president. I mean, that's all that they have to do. But they didn't do that. Why didn't they do that? Because they wanted to take him out. They wanted him to be perceived by the public as being the scandal-ridden president that Hillary Clinton would have been. Because Hillary Clinton was clearly guiltier than sin, was clearly a woman engulfed in scandals. They're trying to give Trump that perception. Why? Because the Democratic Party has the perception of being a party full of scandals. I mean, for crying out loud, look at what they did to poor Uncle Bernie. Look at the scandals that develop amongst themselves. They are a scandal-engulfed party, the same as their nominee. Their nominee is a reflection of the condition of the party, and Hillary Clinton was a reflection of the Democratic Party as a whole, a party filled with scandal. So what the Democrats are doing is that they're taking right out of the rules for radicals, accusing your opponent of what you actually are, and they are accusing the Republicans, they're accusing Donald Trump of being completely engulfed in scandals when it's actually them. That is what is really going on here. And the American people need to understand that. But guys, I'm telling you, it is really just absolutely ridiculous what we are seeing take place. Absolutely ridiculous. We have Jeff Sessions that is going to be testifying to the Senate Intelligence Committee tomorrow. Or no, actually, it's June 12th. Take that back, June 13th. I'm sorry, I'm a day behind. June 13th is when is when Jeff Sessions is going to be testifying. According to CBS News, President Trump's Attorney General is now being drawn into the investigations of Russian election meddling. Jeff Sessions will testify to the Senate Intelligence Committee, and he may have to answer questions raised last week by the testimony of James Comey. The president attacked the fired FBI director again Sunday, tweeting, "I believe that the James Comey leaks will be far more prevalent than anyone ever thought possible. Totally illegal, very cowardly." And matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. I have an audio bit of Donald Trump's lawyer, and I want you to hear his full statement. Let me get that for you. I didn't have the audio bit ready. I just now thought of it. But I tell you, it's really just absolutely intriguing what we heard take place from James Comey, because Comey did not do any damage to Trump, to be honest. I mean, he gave a negative review of the boss that fired him, which is expected, but he made himself look bad, and he destroyed his own credibility. I mean, guys, I tell you, it's really just really ridiculous what we saw in this entire hype, in this entire case, because it really made James Comey look awful. And the Democrats are doing everything that they possibly can to make, Trump look bad. But instead, I think it backfired. Now, here's the audio bit of Donald Trump's lawyer responding to James Comey's testimony.
Contrary to numerous false press accounts leading up to today's hearing, Mr. Comey has now finally confirmed publicly what he repeatedly told President Trump privately. That is, that the president was not under investigation as part of any probe into Russian interference. The president, Mr. Comey also admitted that there is no evidence that a single vote changed as a result of any Russian interference. Mr. Comey's testimony also makes clear that the president never sought to impede the investigation into attempted Russian interference in the 2016 election. And in fact, according to Mr. Comey, the president told Mr. Comey, quote, "It would be good to find out," close quote, in that investigation if there was, quote, "some satellite associates of his who did something wrong," close quote. And he, President Trump, did not exclude anyone from that statement. Consistent with that statement, the president never, in form or substance, directed or suggested that Mr. Comey stop investigating anyone, including the president never suggested that Mr. Comey, quote, "let Flynn go," close quote. As the president publicly stated the next day, he did say to Mr. Comey, quote, "General Flynn is a good guy. He has been through a lot," close quote. And also, quote, "asked how General Flynn is doing," close quote. Admiral Rogers testified today that the president never, quote, "directed him to do anything illegal, immoral, unethical, or inappropriate," close quote, and never, quote, "pressured him to do so," close quote. Director Coates said the same thing. The president likewise never pressured Mr. Comey. The president also never told Mr. Comey, quote, "I need loyalty. I expect loyalty," close quote. He never said it in form, and he never said it in substance. Of course, the office of the president is entitled to expect loyalty from those who are serving the administration. And from before this president took office to this day, it is overwhelmingly clear that there have been and continue to be those in government who are actively attempting to undermine this administration with selective and illegal leaks of classified information and privileged communications. Mr. Comey has now admitted that he is one of these leakers. Today, Mr. Comey admitted that he unilaterally and surreptitiously made unauthorized disclosures to the press of privileged communications with the president. The leaks of this privileged information began no later than March 2017, when friends of Mr. Comey have stated that he disclosed to them the conversations that he had with the president during their January 27th, 2017 dinner and February 14th, 2017 White House meeting. Today, Mr. Comey admitted that he leaked to friends of his purported memos of those privileged communications, one of which he testified was classified. Mr. Comey also testified that immediately after he was terminated, he authorized his friends to leak the contents of those memos to the press in order to, in Mr. Comey's words, quote, prompt the appointment of a special counsel, close quote. Although Mr. Comey testified that he only leaked the memos in response to a tweet, the public record reveals that the New York Times was quoting from those memos the day before the referenced tweet, which belies Mr. Comey's excuse for this unauthorized disclosure of privileged information and appears to be entirely retaliatory. We will leave it to the appropriate authorities to determine whether these leaks should be investigated along with all the others that are being investigated. Mm-hmm. In sum, it is now established that the president was not being investigated for colluding with or attempting to obstruct any investigation. As the committee pointed out today, these important facts for the country to know are virtually the only facts that have not been leaked during the course of these events. As he said yesterday, the president feels completely vindicated and is eager to continue moving forward with his agenda, with the business of this country, and with this public cloud removed. Thank you.
So that was Donald Trump's lawyer, Mark Kasowitz. And guys, I tell you, it's very clear that Trump has people in his administration that are actively trying to take him out. Some of the Obama hatchet jobs. And what, it was Bush that originally brought this guy into the picture, but it was Obama who pointed him to the position of director of the FBI. So this is an Obama guy. He was a Republican. He's an independent now. But this is a guy that was appointed to that position by President Obama. So we have people that Obama appointed that are genuinely trying to take Trump out from the inside. Because basically what has happened, and it's at no fault of his own, Donald Trump has Trojan horses in his administration from the former Obama regime. So what Trump has to do is that he has to get these people out in order to regain control of his administration and to begin to move forward with his agenda. Because all that they're trying to do is obstruct. All they're trying to do is obstruct Trump's agenda from being implemented and prevent President Donald J. Trump from making America great again.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
Are you looking for tickets to the hottest concerts, big game, or theater show? Look no further than StarFanTickets.com. We have amazing tickets to almost everything. No event is ever sold out. Why wait? It's easy to get the tickets you want at the prices you'll love. Simply search for the event. Then click the Find Tickets button. That's StarFanTickets.com. Join the StarFan crew mailing list and stay up to date on all the hottest events in your area. That's StarFanTickets.com. We have your tickets. Hashtag, you going?
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. So I'm looking here at a video clip over the break, and it's from the New York Yankees game, because I'm a big New York Yankees fan. I mean, I'm sorry, I know that offends a lot of people. I really don't care. Tell that to her 27 World Series trophies. But anyway, they were playing Baltimore, and guy that's really starting to rise up is Aaron Judge. He hit a home run that was 495 feet. Cleared the bleachers. 495 feet. Did absolutely phenomenal. So this is a guy that's apparently beginning to rise up in the New York Yankees and is really making an impression. Yankees recruited him, and apparently he started in 2016 from what I'm reading here. Because I don't know much about the guy. I haven't been following up baseball as much as I typically have done in the past, but I love the Yankees. After Derek Jeter was gone, I just kind of fell away for a little bit, but I'm starting to look into it again, and it just came across this video. But yeah, apparently his batting average is .297, 87 hits, 25 home runs, runs batted in 57, throws right, bats right, and he's the right fielder for the New York Yankees. So, yeah, really just that's somebody might want to pay attention to, because that was pretty good hit. And apparently Yankees drafted Judge. Yeah, okay, I'm reading this here. It says the Yankees drafted Judge in the first round of the 2013 Major League Baseball draft with a 32nd overall selection. Judge signed with the Yankees, receiving a $1.8 million signing bonus. He tore his quadriceps femoral something muscle while participating in a base running drill, which kept him out of the 2013 season. He made his professional debut with the Charleston River Dogs of the Class A South Atlantic League in 2014, and he had a 333 batting average, triple three. 4.428 on base percentage. But yeah, he's apparently he's doing well. The Yankees invited Judge to spring training as a non-roster player in 2015. And Judge began the 2015 season with the Trenton Thunder of the Class AA Eastern League. And now he's the right fielder. Judge made his debut August 13th of 2016, starting in right field against the Tampa Bay Rays. And yeah, now he's doing great. March 30th, 2017, the Yankees announced that Judge would be the right fielder for the opening day against the Tampa Bay Rays. He had his multi-home run game on April 28th against Baltimore Orioles. And yeah, Judge is doing phenomenally well. So I tell you, that's one guy you might want to pay attention to. But anyway, getting back to what we have going on here. There was this theater that that apparently did this Kathy Griffin stunt, and it's Caesar. Is it Caesar? Yeah, Julius. It's named after Julius Caesar. Delta Airlines and Bank of America, according to the New York Daily News, pulled out of their sponsorship of New York's Public Theater on Sunday over a production of Julius Caesar that reimages the main character as President Trump. Shortly after Delta, who was a 4-year sponsor, made its announcement, Bank of America yanked its support as well. The Shakespeare in the Park play tells the story of the leader assassinated by Roman senators over the fear that he's becoming too tyrannical. But rather than the original setting, the production stages Greg Henry as Julius Caesar and his wife Caprona as Tina Binko with Donald Trump and Melania lookalikes. Isn't that cute? Henry, who already played a Trump stand-in on Scandal last year, models his Caesar perfectly after the man in the Oval Office. He meets his end after being stabbed to death by women and minorities on stage. Isn't that just adorable? Binko similarly plays Kapruna, I don't know how to pronounce these names, with a thick Slavic accent, much like Melania herself. The recreation is drawn from those who say the show promotes violence against the president. Those critics include President Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr. I wonder how much of this quote-unquote art is funded by taxpayers. Serious question. When does art become political speech, and does that change things? The younger Trump tweeted on Sunday in response to a Fox News article that accused the show of depicting the assassination of the president. Delta, which donates between $100,000 and $499,000 annually, according to Deadline, pulled its sponsorship Sunday afternoon. No matter what your political stance may be, the graphic staging of Julius Caesar at this summer's free Shakespeare in the Park does not reflect Delta Airlines. It does not reflect our values, a company spokesman said in a statement. Their artistic and creative direction cross the line on standards of good taste. We have notified them of our decision to end our sponsorship at the official airline of the public theater effective immediately. Bank of America, one of the public theater's dozens of corporate sponsors, offered similar reasoning. Bank of America supports art programs worldwide, including an 11-year partnership with the Public Theater and Shakespeare in the Park, a spokeswoman told Daily News. The Public Theater chose to present Julius Caesar in a way that was intended to provoke and offend. Had this intention been made known to us, we would have decided not to sponsor it. The show does not include a warning about the violent nature of the assassination. On the Public Theater's website, artistic director Oscar Iskustis said the production should not be taken literally. Well, how else do you take it? You're depicting the assassination of our president. What if we would show Obama getting his head sliced off? What if we would have done performances like that? I'm talking about professional performances. What if we would have portrayed that? What do you think the media would have done? That's racism. They are depicting lynching of black people. That's exactly what would have taken place. They would have made it racist, and everyone doing it is depicting, lynchings, is depicting acts of the KKK. It's all racism, but with Donald Trump, we don't get any of that. This is completely fine. What do I mean by that? Well, we have CNN's Fareed Zakaria hailing Trump assassination in this play, the Trump assassination in this play, as a masterpiece. It's absolutely insane. You have Fareed Zakaria on Twitter saying, if you're in New York City, go see Julius Caesar free in Central Park. Brilliantly interpreted for Trump era. A masterpiece. A masterpiece. Brilliantly interpreted. So here you have a prominent figure for CNN that views the assassination of Donald Trump as being a masterpiece. This guy is equivalent to Kathy Griffin. Perfectly fine with it. Perfectly fine with all this. CNN wants Donald Trump dead. I think that's fair to say. CNN wants Donald Trump dead. Kathy Griffin represents CNN. CNN can fire her, they can get rid of her, but her views reflect those of everybody at CNN. Or I should say of the majority of people at CNN. So guys, I'm telling you, it's so absolutely absurd. It is ridiculous. It is revealing. It is telling of the mainstream media in this country. They are biased. They are clearly trying to take out Donald Trump. They want his assassination. And guys, I got to tell you, with all the talk of assassinating President Donald Trump that's coming out of CNN, I think that they should be investigated by the Secret Service.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China...
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say
All right,
it.
ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. So, anyway, guys, have a news story here for you from Fox Insider. First new coal mine of Trump era has reopened. It's in Pennsylvania. President Trump praised the opening of the nation's first coal mine in recent memory. Corsa Coal Company will operate the mine in Somerset County, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. Corsa CEO George Diffusen, I can't pronounce these, said the mine will be a boon to the struggling local economy. Excuse me, I said reopening. It's opening. He praised Trump's easing of regulations and encouragement for fossil fuel expansion or exploration. Diffusen told Leland Vittert that the 70 positions available in the mine, 400 people, applied. It's a hard day's work every day, but it's worth it, one miner said. Vittert said that the news contrasts with Hillary Clinton's message that she would put a lot of coal mines out of work. Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf, Democrat, who endorsed Clinton, joined the mine company in watching a video message from Trump commemorating the occasion. So, there you go. R.J. Harris, a longtime host on Harrisburg's 580 WHP, said the mine opening is a shot in the arm for the Keystone economy. So, Pennsylvania was once home to the world's largest coal breaker, the St. Nicholas breaker in Minoy City. In its heyday, the breaker could possess 12,000 tons of coal each day, according to the Allentown Morning Call. And see, that's what happened. Demolition began on it in 2015, a sign of the times in the coal region. So we're seeing this mine that is now, even though we saw the closing of that take place, we're seeing this mine open up in Pennsylvania, supplying 70 jobs, out of which 400 people applied. So people, are really affected when the coal industry is taken out, especially in these various types of regions where this is one of the major components of their economy. In West Virginia, coal is a major component of our economy. That's why West Virginia completely votes Republican now on a national level. Because if we really want to be honest with ourselves, we have a Democratic Party in Washington, D.C. that has made it one of their positions to take out a major component of our economy. And both Democrats and Republicans see that here, and that's why they oppose the National Democratic Party. The National Democratic Party has developed a policy that destroys West Virginia, and that's why West Virginia doesn't vote for Democratic candidates anymore. And we're seeing we're seeing coal mines under fire, the coal industry under fire. And because it's such a major component of our economy and of the economy in Pennsylvania, that's why Trump won partially. Because people want to see these economies jump-started. And they weren't going to get that with Hillary Clinton, who did in fact say that she would put a lot of coal mines out of business. But we're going to replace those jobs. Well, that's what they want to do. They want to dig coal. That's what they feel called to do. That's what they want to do. So sorry. They ended up she lost the election over it. That's part of the reason why she lost, because she declared open war against the coal industry, along with the rest of the Democratic Party. We have an article here from CNSnews.com. The U.S. mining industry had its first profitable quarter in nearly 2 years in the first quarter of this year, according to the data published by the U.S. Census Bureau last week. In the first 3 months of 2017, U.S. mining corporations with assets of $50 million or more had combined after-tax profits of $1.957 billion, according to the Census Bureau, which has posted quarterly U.S. mining industry updates after the after-tax profits and losses going back to the fourth quarter of 2000. The after-tax profit that the U.S. mining industry earned in the first quarter of this year was a dramatic reversal from the first quarter of last year, when the mining corporations with assets of $50 million or more posted losses of $27.075 billion. So we're seeing the coal mining industry seeing profitable quarters now. First in 2 years. So, we're starting to see the economy begin to repair. West Virginia, I think, will do better. Pennsylvania will do better. And a lot of the coal mining states are going to see more profitable quarters, I think, in their near future. And that's because of Donald Trump's policies. So look for the economy to improve. We've seen it happen with Wall Street trades. Gas prices are not too bad. I remember when we were blessed for $2.50 a gallon for gas, and now we're down to $2.35. So I mean, it's not that bad right now. And by the way, guys, we have an audio bit here from Sex and the City. Wonderful. Sex and the City. It's a television type of program. I don't know if it's a movie. I don't know if it's a series. I think it's a series. I'm not sure. But anyway, one of the actresses dedicated her award to fighting Donald Trump. Go ahead and listen to this. This is from the CBS coverage of the Tony Awards.
Best Actress in a Play in 2006 for Rabbit Hole.
My thanks to the American Theater Wing for this tremendous honor. Thanks also to Dan Sullivan, whose birthday it is today, and Lynn Meadow and the Manhattan Theater Club, who have been bugging Laura Linney to do this play for years. Thanks especially to the great Laura Linney for thinking outside the box. And for thinking of me when she did it. I share this with the extraordinary cast, crew, and staff at the Friedman. I share this with my God-sent wife and our beloved children, Sam, Charlie, and Max. It is a privilege to appear in Lillian Hellman's eerily prescient play at this specific moment in history. 80 years ago, she wrote, "There are people who eat the earth and eat all the people on it, and other people who just stand around and watch them do it. My love, my gratitude, and my undying respect go out to all the people in 2017 who are refusing to just stand and watch them do it." Thank you.
And now, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
So there you go. Apparently, and from what I'm reading here in the commentary, it says 80 years ago, blah, 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 there are people who eat the earth and eat all the people on it, and other people who just stand around and watch them do it. The illusion clearly imagined Trump as the person who today eat all the people on it by trying to amass wealth from others. Depicting her award, Nixon said, "My love, my gratitude, and undying respect go out to all the people in 2017 who are refusing to just stand and watch them do it." So, so basically from what is being reported in news reports, that was a message to Donald Trump that was put out by this actress. Her name's Cynthia Nixon from Planet Lesbos. That's apparently that's so we have Hollywood continuing to combat Donald Trump. Discreetly was using language to try to insinuate that this award is dedicated to all you people that are giving Trump, a difficult time. So isn't that just absolutely wonderful? So anyway, have an audio bit that I want to play for you from MSLSD when we get back. It's from Rachel Maddow, and she had Dan Rather on. And Dan Rather made an interesting connection that is overwhelmingly desperate. However, it is revealing of just how desperate the Democrats are to give themselves optimism looking forward. It's really telling just how pathetic they actually are at this point in America. It's funny.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight.
You're listening to Caiden Cowger on the WCNR News Network.
Caiden Cowger.
Somebody had to say it.
It safely eliminates stress and anxiety. It makes commuting, driving your kids around, or driving a truck more fun. It makes gift shopping easier. It's Happy Driving Stress Reduction, a revolutionary patent-pending tool that works while you drive. Find Happy Driving Stress Reduction on iTunes, Amazon, or Google Play. Make life easier. Buy Happy Driving Stress Reduction today.
You always want to look your best, but you don't always have time to deal with a necktie that won't cooperate. That's where we come in. Introducing the Never Tie, the only necktie that you never have to tie. Each Never Tie comes with a tie and 2 removable knots that you simply slide on and adjust for your comfort, giving you the perfect look every time. Choose from over 20 stylish designs at thenevertie.com. Enter promo code RADIO1 for discount.
Go get your copy of Prelude to World War III, The Rise of Islamic Republic and the Rebirth of America. World War III Series Volume 1, available in paperback and Kindle edition on Amazon by the authors James Rozone and Miranda Watson. By the 2020s, America was no longer a world superpower. The military had been cut to a bare-bones level, and while the U.S. was focused internally, the door opened for new powers to emerge on the world stage. In the wake of this power vacuum, China.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-441-7922. That's 1-800-441-7922.
Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group is a company that deals with investing in precious metals such as gold and silver. They've been in business for over a decade and have an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've been featured on Fox News, Market Watch, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Reuters, Fox Business, Financial Times, and Forbes magazine. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. They also offer various ebooks on investing in gold, such as the Definitive Gold Guide. So once again, if you're interested, you can call 1-800-932-4108. That's 1-800-932-4108. All right, guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja is a company that specializes in slashing debt. They deal with various debt problems such as tax debt, debt settlement, debt consolidation, student loan debt, credit repair services, and bankruptcy. That is 1-800-826-1132. Now, their company, the Debt Ninja, operates on a national level and have worked to fight the IRS for many of their clients. If you're interested, you can call at 1-800-826-1132. That is 1-800-826-1132. Once again, that is 1-800-826-1132. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced an extended service plan that is now available to the general public. This plan reduces the cost of auto repair expenses. Maximum Car Care was created to assist qualifying car owners with lowering repair bills of cars under 130,000 miles and under 12 years old. Maximum Car Care works to limit the expense of auto repair bills, roadside assistance, rental coverage, and towing. Their number is 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. Once again, that is 1-800-824-9762. Maximum Car Care is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program.
You're listening to the WCNR News Network, where America comes to talk.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say.
Now, you want to hear how desperate the Democrats are to give themselves hope? Very desperate. Very, very desperate. I'm looking here, and this is from MSLSD, the Rachel Maddow show. And she had Dan Rather on. And Dan Rather expressed that because of conservative losses over in the UK, it is not good news for the United States, but very good news for Russia. Go ahead and listen to this. This is Dan Rather.
Joining us now for the interview is somebody I am lucky to be able to turn to help understand big political moments. Dan Rather, legendary anchor, now president of News and Guts Media. Dan, it is wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Let me just, I want to talk to you about a few different things tonight, but let me just ask you about these election results in the UK. Small bore, obviously, it was a surprise result. But should we see this as a big global signal, something important about the kind of world we're in now?
Well, yes, I certainly think we can read much into it. That what you have is a pattern of angry voters doing surprising things at the polls, surprising at least to pollsters. Mm-hmm. We had it with Donald Trump in this country. You had it in France with their election. Germany had a very strong challenge to their leader. So what's happened in Great Britain is obvious that voters are angry. And now, whether you can extrapolate, Trump was elected by angry voters in this country. The prime minister is almost thrown out of office. By the way, I noticed that some in the British press are calling her, quote, a zombie prime minister, a terrible phrase to use.
Because she won't be able to hold on.
Because she won't be able to hold on.
Not because she eats brains.
So, it's clearly in Great Britain. It's a volatile and fluid situation. But if you were a leader of the Democratic Party in this country, I think you'd be thinking seriously about what happened in Great Britain. Because what the country voted to do was they elected more leftist, if you will, politicians, left of center politicians. And if you were looking to the 2018 congressional elections in this country, would you say, well, can we tap into some anger about Donald Trump now? It might be a bridge too far, but I think not.
So that's what Dan Rather's doing. So basically what he is saying here is that because of what happened over in the United Kingdom, where they voted for Brexit, and one of the major leaders of that was the UKIP party, but the UKIP voters rejoined the Labour Party afterwards. They're saying that because of what we saw over in Great Britain, that is exactly the same exact thing that's going to happen in the United States. So because Donald Trump won, we will now be able to elect more leftist politicians. I don't believe so, because what's behind Donald Trump is it's patriotism mixed in with Americanism, mixed in with conservatism, and a rejection of left policies. It's a rejection of liberalism is what we're seeing take place. And what I'm witnessing is that a lot of members of my generation are starting to look at the pink-haired, freaks that dye their, that are crazy, that run to their safe spaces as being irrational people. And the liberals that exist in my generation are beginning to evolve into where I think libertarianism is taking over. But at the same time, while we're seeing libertarianism surge, we're also seeing conservatism surge. And we're seeing liberalism begin to plunge. That's the evolution that I'm seeing take place among my peers, is that libertarianism is becoming the new liberalism. And conservatism is beginning to surge again because we're seeing more conservatives that are millennial that are beginning to raise up, and I'm talking about actual conservatives, and that's wonderful because you know how I've complained on here about how we have a lot of impure young conservatives out there. But it's starting to happen. Something's going on, and it's not what's happening over in the UK. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to us. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com, and for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, may God bless you, and God bless America.